Surprise. Not looking the exact same as I do on the thumbnail. Surprise. I liked cooking with you guys the other day, so I wanted to bake my world famous chocolate chip cookies. Shall we do it? I love baking, and I haven't been doing it recently because I really haven't been eating sweets, but I haven't made anything for the rejects in a while, and I'm going in tomorrow, and so feels like a good time. We can talk about anything you guys want tonight, so let's do that. We could also talk about anything I want, so let's do that. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, get cracking in the kitchen. Okay, so I'm going to put up the recipe right now that I use, but it's a little different than this. This was something I found a long time ago. I don't know from what website. And then I make it a little bit different than this. So then I'll tell you guys how I alter it. But this is the basic recipe if you want to screen grab that. I'll tell you about it as I go. But I also add cinnamon and I do more vanilla extract than it asks for. I did make a cardinal mistake today. I bought dairy-free chocolate chips. I didn't do that on purpose. I got home and saw that, and I was like, why did I do that? But I did, so I did. The other thing that I do is I make sure that I melt the butter, and then I make sure I refrigerate the batter for at least 1 hour. So those are two essential things to making this chocolate chip cookie. So I'm going to start by melting the butter in this microwave-friendly bowl. You want to make sure it's completely melted. A lot of chocolate chip cookies, you don't want melted butter. These, you do. With the brown sugar and the melted butter, and then when it goes back into the fridge and consolidates, mwah! That's why these cookies aren't flat, because of the refrigeration process. Okay. So we're going to start by putting our dry stuff in here, which means that we will do, wow, I've got these bites all over. I cannot stop getting bitten. It's driving me nuts. It's driving me nuts. Okay, we're going to do the flour and the baking soda and the salt. I bought oat flour because I was going to use that, and then I decided I'm actually not going to use that. I just want to use a regular, degular flour today. I will say this is a very good brand if you guys are looking for a really, sometimes the ingredients you use really do make a difference, especially with the chocolate, but Bob's Red Mill all-purpose organic flour. It's really good. I haven't tried the oat flour yet, and I just don't want to do a tester recipe. So for the flour, we're going to do a cup and a half. How's your guys' Wednesday night going? I'm coming from the gym, so at least I earned one of these cookies. Not that you need to earn a cookie, even if you're not coming from the gym. You do you, boo. But I have been on a workout tear, as you guys know. And so when I want cookies, I have cookies. Okay, so for those of you guys who don't bake often, one of the tips that I will say, I think this came from my mom, but 1,000,001 people use this, is that in order to make, when you're baking, you really need very concise measurements, and accurate measurements. Unlike when you're cooking, you don't need that. You can do very not accurate measurements and like to taste. Baking, it's not like that. So one of the things that I do to level out stuff is that you go with the back of a knife, you go like this and tap it and then scrape it across, and that makes it the exact amount. That's a cup. This is a half. Okay. Now we're done with our flour. Here's what I do so I don't fuck this up. because I've done this so many times where you add double something. Now that we're done with our flour, what do? I put the flour away. That's how I know we put the flour in there. Have you ever over salted something because you don't remember if you salted it? That happens to me. Okay. So now that that's put away, we're going to do the baking soda. Thinking also of housewarming presents. Nice. These are crappy ones that I got at Target. They're like $5 that I've had for a while, but pretty ones of these from like Williams Sonoma or you could probably get them on online, Amazon. Nice ones. Such a nice housewarming present. I would love that. What I love about these cookies is they're so easy to make. This is not me giving you like a cake recipe. These are so easy to make that anybody can do this. Truly anybody. Okay, so we're going to do a half teaspoon of baking soda. Any of these a half teaspoon. Yep. Baking soda. Do you guys know you need to replace your baking soda every like once in a while, even if you haven't finished the thing, because the potency just goes way down. Okay, that's a half teaspoon of baking soda. Now we're going to do salt, which I think is also a half teaspoon, but let's see. Yep. Half teaspoon. Salt. You might have to use sea salt. Oh, that's the other thing I do is I do a little short on the salt here, and then I add salt, some salt flakes on top or some sea salt on top. Ideally, you don't use anything too coarse in this, but I am missing my normal salt right now, so we should just use this. Okay, so it's a little light on the salt because I'm going to add some to the top. Okay. Now the recipe doesn't call for cinnamon, but I do call for cinnamon. So I am going to kind of just do a dash. I know I just told you guys that you need to be concise, but this is just something I add. I do a dash, kind of like 2 dashes of cinnamon. It makes the cookies just so much more flavorful. Can you see how much cinnamon I do? Like that. Okay. All right. Now we're going to just kind of mix these together. Let's check on our butter. Did it melt all the way? Yes, it did. Hooray. Okay, so that was 1 stick of butter. And now, with that butter, we are going to do the sugar. So it's a half cup of light brown sugar. I'll be honest with you guys. I use dark brown sugar. This is how we edit the recipe a little bit. Light brown sugar is good too. I really like this brand. Wholesome, organic, fair trade. Really yummy. Okay, so it's a half cup. I've tried this before where I only use white sugar, and I just will say these chocolate chip cookies are not as good with only white sugar. It's the brown sugar and the butter that really make these excellent. But if you are missing brown sugar, you can make them. Without it, it's just not as good. Send in Streamlabs and Super Chats. I'll pause in a second to read whatever is in there. Okay. So this is my cup, my half cup, putting it in with the butter. Butter. And I'm going to mix that baby up. And then we're going to do the other sugar, the white sugar. Because we don't segregate our sugars. We put them in together. All right, let me see what's going on in the Streamlabs. Streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer on this Wednesday, November 12th. You guys said you enjoyed the cooking shows. Let me know if that's still the case. Really, the cooking shows are just talking about whatever we want while in the background I'm cooking or baking. This is a baking show. I guess it's not a cooking show. Shout out to everybody who's live with me tonight. RQMDSMD in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar says, hi, Roxy, just sending in some dough. And he spelled it DOUGH, like cookie dough. I guess that's how dough is spelled in general, but I see what you did there. Imprinted on Roxy says, sorry, I called you cray cray, Team Striar. Listen, I'm not mad at it. Sometimes bitch should be crazy. Sometimes she'd be a bitch. All right, we're going to do a third of a cup of white sugar. What are we going to do first with this sugar, though? We are going to put this sugar away so we don't double up on brown sugar. Goodbye, brown sugar. Hello, white sugar. Third of a cup. Let's see. Did I grab my third? Nope. Here she is. Nope, that's an eighth. Obviously rocks. Here she is. Nope, that's a fourth. Obviously rocks. Here she is. Yep, that's a third. Woohoo! Okay. Getting this. Also, do you guys know about the egg test? Just want to make sure that you guys aren't throwing out your eggs when they're still good. Do you know how to test if an egg is still good, even if it's past the expiration date, which mine is slightly past. It's not past the expiration date. It's past the best by date. Okay. So we're putting the white sugar third in with the brown sugar and the butter. And just so we're clear, these are in separate bowls right now. This is the wets, the dries we mix together in the other bowl. It actually tends to make a difference. If you want to skip that and be lazy, you can. But really, baking where you're putting your wets and your dries separately and then combining them is the way to go. Okay, so in with this right now. You've got the brown sugar, the white sugar, the butter. We're about to add the egg and the vanilla. All right, team. In the super chat, sexy Andrew Thomas. Hey, the most beautiful cookie, Roxy. Really enjoyed it. Welcome, Dairy episode 3. So did I. Have you seen Super Mario 2 trailer? No, I haven't. When did that drop? I didn't watch. One thing you want to make sure is that your butter is not piping hot when you add your egg to it, which is why you add the sugar first, because otherwise your egg can actually boil in the butter. And you don't want that. Okay. If you don't know about the egg test, you put an egg in a bowl of water. If it floats, it's bad. If it sinks to the bottom and stands straight up, it's really fresh. And if it sinks to the bottom and falls on its side, it's still fresh enough to eat, but on its way out. It's not as fresh. Okay, cracking an egg into this. You're always supposed to crack an egg not into exactly what you're using, just in case any shell gets in. I crack it right in because if I want to, I'll just scoop the shell out, but it's very rare that I put shell in, that I get shell in. But for the novices, you want to make sure that you are not scrambling your eggs in there with the heat and that you're not putting eggshell in. Okay. Oh, it dropped today. No, I missed that. Let's go into the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. Let's see. Mixing this. I'm mixing these liquids. We still have to do the vanilla, which I usually double because yum. Mr. ND in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. Like Martha Stewart Roxy Lives, making my ass take recipe notes. I want to know, what did you think of The Spy on Netflix? Thought it was very well done. What's The Spy on Netflix? I don't even know what that is. I think it is so crazy anytime you guys tell me about a show that I've never heard of, and it's just like, I'm the TV girl, but there's so much TV. Is this a TV show on Netflix that I missed? My bad if it is. Try to be in the know about all the things. Sometimes I miss. All right, let's get that vanilla. Okay, so the recipe calls for, let's see. The recipe calls for 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So I won't do 2 full teaspoons But I will do close. Your vanilla actually really matters too. Try to get a good vanilla. I like this Whole Foods organic vanilla, but there's a lot of good vanillas. Okay, that's 1 teaspoon. And then I just kind of do like a little overflow on it. So it's like more like 1 teaspoon and a quarter, I guess, just to make it a little extra vanilla-y. Okay, now we have mixed together all of our liquids. And usually you want the liquids in the bigger bowl because then you add the dries, but we didn't do it that way. We're just going to add the liquids into the dry bowl because this liquid bowl is too small for the dries. Before I do that, I'm first going to just put away all the things that I did add. The sugar, baking, salt. We've added all of our ingredients. Are any of you guys gonna make this recipe ever? So stick everything over there for now. Okay. And we finished this, so goodbye, Mother. Beta Bada. Look it up. Wow, I just don't know it. That's so crazy. All right, mixing everything together kind of slow. I don't even need to use the beater with this recipe because it's so easy to mix. You can just use a spoon or a stirring spoon, whatever you got. And the last thing we'll add is the chocolate chips after this, and then we'll put them into cookie dough balls, and then we will put them in the refrigerator for at least an hour, but a full day is better. The next day is perfect. What I love about chocolate chip cookies is they're always a hit at every party. They're super easy to make. They're effing delicious. Like, really, most of the time when people want dessert, they don't really want a fancy dessert. I like fancy dessert, but like, if I'm at like a French restaurant, okay. But like, really, most of the time, we just want a warm-ass chocolate chip cookie. Or at least me. Scraping this wet bowl. Again, this is why usually you leave things in the wet bowl and mix the dries into the wet bowl. But we didn't do that because I didn't know if microwave the butter in this bowl. It's plastic, so it's not giving super safe. Just keep mixing. Okay, Mike, try it, dude. You got this. Yeah, it's one of my easier recipes. See what's going on with you guys in the Streamlabs. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Shout out to Printed on Roxy, to RQMDSMD, to Mr. MD, and to Mike Joyce. Let's see, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. He says, "What's one of the most awkward moments you've seen at a wedding? At a wedding I went to recently, bride's father gave a speech before dinner that basically implied the officiant hadn't done a good job, and he delivered what he said was a better one. He read the Buddhist wedding vows and encouraged everyone to do a Buddhist salute while he read them, which unfortunately looked a lot like a certain very bad salute. Yes. Almost the whole room ended up doing it. Oh my God, that is so uncomfortable. I've been to a lot of weddings where people talk about like how many people the other person dated before they found them, but like really harp on it. They're like, yeah, they really got around before you. Like, way to tie him down because honestly, he was slutting it up. It's always like, that's kind of an odd, just like an odd way of talking about somebody, but okay. Okay, we got some chunks that I'm just mixing in. So you guys see the consistency. It's like full-blown cookie dough consistency. It's not liquidy at all. Like I said, we're going to do chocolate chips. I like them super chocolatey, so I usually do like a cup and a half. But again, I got these dairy-free chocolate chips. I don't know. Are those going to be absolute trash? I got them from a brand that I love. Always try the cookie dough. Let's see. Truly unbeatable. God, it's so good. So, so good. Just checking the ingredients list. Making sure everything's in there. Tastes like it is. Unsalted butter. Yup. Granulated sugar. Yup. Brown sugar. Yup. 1 egg. Yup. Teaspoon of vanilla. Yup. Baking soda. Yup. Salt. Yup. Flour. Yup. Chocolate chips. Let's do it. Okay. Thank you for that question, Mike. I'm trying to think of any other awkward moments at weddings. I always think it's awkward when one person's vows are so much shorter than the other, or like so much less personal. And one person like really goes for it, and the other person's vows are kind of lackluster. Oh, Sam, I do an amazing skillet chocolate chip cookie. It's actually unbelievable. Okay, so this brand is amazing, and I like semi-sweet chocolate chips in my chocolate chip cookies. However, the dairy-free, how do you guys feel that that's going to be? I'm a little concerned about it. We'll start with a cup and take it from there. And for chocolate chips, you really just want to kind of fold them in. You're not trying to beat these bad boys in. You're just trying to add them into the mix evenly. No, dairy-free doesn't mean sugar-free. Dairy-free means no dairy. There's a ton of sugar. Dairy-free does not mean sugar-free. Usually when something's dairy-free, they put more sugar in it to add to make up for the lack of dairy. Let me look and tell you. Yeah, this is made from cane sugar, cacao beans, cocoa butter, sunflower, vanilla. I did taste it, and I think it tasted really good, but that doesn't mean it bakes as well. How things baked can be different. Like semi-sweet chocolate chip cookies, semi-sweet chocolate chips aren't my favorite plain anyway. Then you guys ever had dairy-free? It's so funny because it's not like this is dairy-free. This is butter and, but the chocolate chips are dairy-free. Okay, so this is it with cup. I'm going to do a little bit more. Hopefully they're good. And then we're going to put it on a tray, and we are going to put it in the fridge for an hour because I want them tonight. Otherwise, I would let them sit till overnight. But what I do is I split up the batter half and half so that I'll make some tonight and then I'll make some tomorrow. And the ones tomorrow will be even better because they'll rise more. You guys won't be here for that part, but I'll take a picture and put it in the Discord. Okay. By the way, step 1 is always washing your hands. Don't be cray-cray. Just refreshing the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. What do you guys got going on? The last one's from Mike Joyce, which I already read. If you can get a non-grease cooking sheet, that is always preferable. I like to, if I just haven't used my cooking sheets for a while, just take some water and wipe them down. Not that you need to, but. And if it's non-stick, I don't even put butter on it. I just put these right on there. So it'll be probably about, I make them like this size. So half the size of my fist. Mr. ND Fanatic. Roberts was the bad in Best Friend's Wedding. Roberts, was she the bad in Best Friend's Wedding? Wait, what? You mean Julia Roberts, but what does that mean? Was she the bad? So I'll probably make like, let's see how many tonight. And then on top of this, I usually add a couple chocolate chips on top of each of them afterwards, just to melt in so that they're pretty, and a little bit of salt. This is when they're done baking. I'm just telling you guys that because you're not going to see that step in the process. I think Julia Roberts is in the wrong in my best friend's wedding. Yeah, duh. What? Do people think that she was in the right? Oh, is that what the question was? Roberts, was she the bad? Oh, you're saying like, was she in the wrong? Yeah, I think so. I think so. When your friend's happy with their partner, and especially when you had like all that time to say something or do something about it, I like get how that could happen, but yes, I think she's in the wrong. Let's see. Making sure there's chocolate chips that are on the bottom in these. Mm-hmm. When's the last time you guys baked anything? I'm just going to do one more. And actually, because I'm doing them in only an hour, I'm actually going to put them in the freezer, which will allow them to consolidate a little quicker. I recommend the fridge and for longer, but if you're out of time, half an hour in the freezer can do wonders. Okay. And then the rest of them that are in this bowl, just going to separate them into balls in the bowl, balls in the bowl, balls in the bowl, and then put some saran wrap on top. You can actually bake stuff in the air fryer, just so you know, like an oven. If I was only making one or two of these, I could pop them right in the air fryer. Because the air fryer is just so effing convenient. It takes so little cleanup. Pretty ideal. What other things do you guys want to know about this week? I've got Real Rejects tomorrow, and I'm filming on Friday with them also after I film with DJ. And then Friday night, we're actually doing a Real Rejects hang, which I'm very excited about. We're doing like arcade stuff, and nice because we don't actually all get to like hang out ever anymore. We've just been so busy filming and working, and they're all buddies. And I always think that you do better at your job when you actually like everybody around. And I think one of the cool things that's so different about Real Rejects and really makes it stand out is that we genuinely all really like each other. That's like a fact. That's not me just saying it. Like, we are all friends and we all really care about each other. And so I'm excited to hang with everybody. I think every person's coming, which would be really cool. We were going to do a potluck, but so many of the Real Rejects have such crazy dietary restrictions right now. Everybody's kind of on a diet. Not everybody, but half of the rejects. So I think that is why we decided not to, because doing potluck for people who have crazy dietary restrictions is not super fun. Okay. So you could make smaller cookies to make them last more, but I made of that whole batter There's 6 cookies there and 5 cookies here. You can see this is what they're like in here. And that's that. A lot of people, Sam, who have more analytical science brains, math, science, analytical, break things down, are better at baking than they are at cooking because, like, you do these things for this amount of time and then this is what the result is, as opposed to cooking where you can kind of like just keep adding, keep subtracting, keep whatever. Both of them are obviously, cooking and baking are both arts, but different brain people tend to prefer different things. All right, let me put this in the freezer. Will it fit like this? Let's see. Kind of risky me not putting a cover over it, but let's just try it. Yeah, that fit just fine. And then this, I'm going to stick these balls actually in this. Which cups came in earlier. And you just kind of break them apart after you put them in the fridge tomorrow when I go to make them. That way you don't have to put the whole bowl in the fridge. Voila, babies. That deserves a carrot. Also, I've been eating dinner, so I might do an apple and peanut butter as a snack. And a cookie as dessert. Because I'm not that hungry. How do you guys feel about that? Today, one of my closest friends, Holly, who I go to Disneyland with, got this text from Tara. And Tara's like, with Holly at Disneyland. And Holly just recognized Tara out of the blue. I was like, oh my God, that's so great. A lot of people. Let's go into the Streamlabs, see what's going on with you guys in there. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Schreier. By the way, I agree about it. Welcome to Dairy. I think it's really good. And episode 3 really sold me. Eric with CK in the house. Eric CK says, cookies, blonde, beautiful, and can bake. Ay, Dios mío. I was reading in English and then I was like, hey, Dios mío. Other news is a true Jack in the Box has gremlin themed meal. I miss Callie. Eric with the CK signing off. I have no idea. And also, I'm really out here trying to be a brunette now, but the blonde keeps poking through. What do you guys think about the blonde versus brunette thing? I don't know about Jack in the Box. Worth looking into. Okay. Putting all the things I need to wash. One bowl in the sink. Putting these things away. Keep the cinnamon out because I use it for smoothies every day. Gotta tie up my chocolate chips. Let's hope the chocolate chips work well. Thank you, Sam. You like the bronze. Appreciate that. Mega likes blonde. Mike says brunette. Dion likes the hairstyle. Cool. All right, so it sounds like I feel like red is going to be the biggest risk for me, but I want to try to pull it off. We shall see if and when I take that chance. First, I gotta get new brown this hair headshots. My mom used to change her hair all the time. Shout out to Sexy Andrew, Mr. ND Fanatic, Eric with the CK, Mike Joyce, Mr. ND, RQMD, SMD, and Imprinted on Roxy for being our Streamlabs and Super Chatters of the day. We have another one coming in right now from Mr. ND. Mr. ND, Mr. ND. Would you consider doing Pluribus Sundays? I would love to. Would you guys be down with that or no? I loved the first 2 episodes of Pluribus. So I'd definitely be interested in it. Although, once we're past the point of having screeners for it, I'm going to have to be in the studio for it. So my Pluribus ones would be super late. I need tea. And I was putting away my dishes. You guys feel like doing this with me now? Probably going to get out of here in the next 5-10 minutes anyway. I'd go anywhere with you, dear. Anything for you. I was just touching raw eggs, so really I need to wash my hands. This is stuck. Once I get this unstuck, I shall go wash my hands. There we go. Me reminding myself, oh, you don't want to touch raw eggs and then go right to putting away clean dishes. Okay. Yeah, la, la, la. Last night, I went to dinner on a date with that guy who is awesome. And the bartender gave me this bracelet because he said that I was nice. And it says, be nice or leave. And he was wearing it. And I was like, that's a sick bracelet. And he was like, you are so nice. Here, take it. I was like, no, I can't do that. And he was like, no, I make them and I want you to have it. It's like, that's so fucking sweet. But I love that motto. Be nice or leave. Hell yeah. Honestly, be nice or leave. It's this blue rubber. It's like one of those. Were Livestrongs the original rubber bracelets? I used to wear that every day. Remember how popular those Livestrongs were? I haven't seen one of those in a minute. That probably raised so much money. Some good marketing. Fashionable and functional. Okay, we got another Streamlabs coming in. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Ronnie Deasy in the house. What's up, Ronnie Deasy? What do you think of supposed fallout with Zendaya and Sydney? Do you think Zendaya is right for wanting to distance herself from whatever Sydney is? Today there was that, what's her name, Ruby Rose comment on Sydney also, which was wild. Zendaya's super, super, super famous and has like managed to kind of keep her name out of any bad press straight up always. And she can kind of do anything she wants. So who am I to tell her what's the right or wrong move for her? Maybe they don't like each other. I'm not trying to spread rumors, but like if I was Zendaya and I didn't like Sydney and I had the opportunity to not work with her or not do press with her, then I would do that. But for me, from what we have seen, like I've had way worse coworkers than what we've seen of Sydney. So I don't think that I would make that same choice. But she might know things we don't know. For all we know, Sydney's actually like not. It's prejudice. I'm not saying she is. I'm just saying we don't know, and they would know better. I didn't think that. It's not like. I honestly think that doing press with David Harbour right now would be harder, but they don't seem to think that. So Anyway, thanks for the question. Appreciate it. It's an interesting one, Ronnie DZ. What do you guys think in the chat? Do you guys think it's legit? Who knows if it's real, but that if Zendaya doesn't want to do press with Sydney, how do you feel about that? I'm still emptying my dishwasher. Come and knock on my door. Pick a pocket or two. Got to pick a pocket or two. Where did that come from? Was I seeing that? Was I talking about that? Right there? I don't think so. All right, yeah, send in final things because we've been live for 41 minutes. We went live so long last week, but we were chilling. Chilling. I'm kind of vibing with these more chill streams where I do something. Maybe we could do some arts and crafts on a stream soon. Some painting. I haven't been having time to paint recently and I miss it. Sometimes it's a very private, personal thing, but even if I don't show you guys while I'm doing it, I could just paint while I'm doing the thing and then kind of show you updates as we go along. Thank you for you guys who are sending kind words. It's really sweet. Appreciate you. So often the internet is super unkind these days, but it's always nice when people are chill and cool and kind and considerate. I'm with you, Roxy, Sydney Sweeney, even though it's a minority opinion. I know. I don't know. Like, Steph is like, get that girl out of here vibes. And I get it. I just think, honestly, some people, like, aren't that. I don't know. No excuses. I obviously wouldn't have done what she did. Like, if somebody asks me to essentially denounce racism, no matter what, who's asking, no matter what the circumstances, I would just be like, yeah, for sure. I think that that's bad. Just because, like, I do. So that interview was bizarre. I'm not saying it wasn't, but it's kind of like when Kevin Hart didn't want to apologize for his joke. It's not the same exact thing, but like he didn't want to say, sorry, I'm not homophobic because he was like, I don't think I did anything wrong. It was a joke. And celebrities tend to double down on things sometimes. We've seen it across the board with all different types of people, so this isn't an exclusively Sydney thing. In the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Let's check it out. Refreshing the page. RQMDS&D in the house. Hi, Roxy, just sending some more support. Enjoy hanging out in the kitchen. Yeah, the kitchen too. I'm into the kitchen. I've got to keep this fridge closed, but while I'm just here with you guys, the bananas that I need to put in the freezer for my smoothies, I break them up into 5s so that they're easier to blend. Ooh, this banana is not good. Well, the bottom part. We will toss that. Got to pick a bucket or two. Yeah, I do have a lot of family photos on my fridge and friend photos, my friends on my fam. So I like putting it there. I know it's kind of messy and not like done in the cutest way, but when I look at them, I smile. So I very much so enjoy that. Do you guys follow the Naders? Why have I not been in on this phenomenon? People have been asking about them recently, like they're the Kardashians, and I'm like, I don't even know who they are. Why are they so famous? Can anybody tell me? It's kind of a random question, but okay. Oh, I just got a video from one of my girlfriends. You guys know on Wednesdays, me and my group of 5 girlies, we send each other video updates from the week. It's been so fun. Something we learned about on TikTok. It's called Waffle Wednesday. And it's really been a delight, especially because one of the girls moved to Singapore. So we haven't really been able to see much of her. She had come back once, but it's very cool to be able to still get updates and doing it on a Wednesday. I know it's not a lot once a week, but at least it's better than not talking for months, you know? And that way, like, you can kind of keep each other updated on what the previous week is and not have to tell like crazy long stories just to get to the next thing. Okay. Let's see. Can't wait to watch that. Well, without further ado, I'm probably going to get out of here. I'll leave in 2 minutes. Send in any final things if you would like. Otherwise, I just appreciate you guys even supporting. There's a bunch of bruises on 2 of those bananas, so we didn't get to get as much out of it as we wanted, but that was because I waited too long to put them in the freezer. I don't like to put them in when they're green still because then they don't taste good. Okay. Well, shout out to you guys. I've got some cleaning to do. Got some tea to drink. Apple slice, peanut butter. These come with my coffee cups, and I don't drink coffee, and I don't put anything in my tea, so it's like I always have extras of these. I have so many of these. I don't know why I don't want to just throw them out, but I don't. All right, guys, stay safe, stay sane. Put down the toilet seat and lid. We don't want those buffoons. Don't trend with the Holocaust. Justice for all of the people who have lost their lives due to excessive force. My body, my choice. Wherever you're on the rainbow, we love you. We stand with the women of Iran, so the bravest woman we've ever seen. Golden sparkles for the Zen one himself. Glenn Caesar, thinking about you. And all of you guys, hope you're doing well. Very, very Zen chill baking stream. I'll put a picture on the Discord of how the cookies come out. And again, on top of those cookies, what you do is just put like 3 chocolate chips while it's still hot, so it kind of looks pretty and melts, and then a little bit of salt if you've got flakes. If not, sea salt, tiny bit on each cookie. Mwah, chef's kiss. Usually I do like 400 for like 11 minutes. You can see. You can look in there, though, and see. Richard Okotoro 8267. Enjoy the cookie. Hey, Roxy. Enjoy the cookies. Hope you're well. You see Nobody Wants This on Netflix. Yes, I talk about it all the time. It's one of my top 10 shows of the year. I love it. I'm making my top 10 lists right now. At least as of this point, it's on there, but I don't think it's going to get bumped. I love that show. I went to the premiere of season 2. It was awesome. And I will enjoy the cookies. Thank you for that. My friends, this is the end, my friends. Okay. Just refreshing everything, making sure. Yep. All right. Later. Have a good night, babes.